Today, we are at the beginning of a historic discovery. We are going to spend 8 days in total darkness to explore the exact depth of Krubera Cave, which scientists consider to be the deepest cave in the world. We are even hoping to discover new animal species that have been isolated in this subterranean world for millions of years. During this expedition, we are going to cover a distance of almost 5 kilometers, and every one of us will lose 10 kilograms on average.
Curiosity brought me here, but it is too risky. Let's descend to the deepest point of the world's deepest cave.
The explored part of Krubera is 2,199 meters deep, but its true depth is still a mystery. The last update to its map was over a decade ago.
Now I'm going to secure myself. I'm going to put this Jumar here to be secured again. I'm going to tie this new station's rope to my stop descender to descend further. I'm good to go. I'll take this securing point off. Jumar, and take it off. Time to descend.
At the cave's deepest accessible point, there lies a dangerous siphon never passed until now. Yet our goal with the Russian speleologist team is to push further. I even signed a contract accepting that this expedition could literally cost me my life. For over 20 years, Crimean Federal University lecturer Gennady Samokhin has worked on this cave.
The hardest part is always the entrance part.
I've been training for over a year to join this expedition and document it. During these shoots, I'll come face to face with life-threatening situations on 4 separate occasions.
Time to connect to this station. I'm gonna secure myself first. Now I am connected to 2 securing points. Any mistake can be fatal. That's why we use 3 securing points.
Deep, slippery wells, tight squeezes, siphons where there is no air, and freezing temperatures. That's what we're about to face.
It's time to take this off and then this off. Now we are gonna descend. Hello, Krubera. Pitch darkness. Free!
These hooks and ropes you see are from previous expeditions. For more than 60 years, speleologists from around the world have come to Krubera, with no one yet measuring the exact depth of the cave. There's a real danger of rockfalls and sudden floods.
Be careful with the rocks here.
Even the most experts have lost their lives here for these reasons.
Okay.
With the help of NVIDIA Studio and GeForce RTX GPUs, we've brought the first ever detailed 3D map of Krubera Cave to life. More on them later, but on this map you can see 5 main camps at different depths of the cave where we'll sleep.
The camps are set up in a way that they are only 8-hour moving distance far from each other. We move 8 hours a day, then rest.
Just because we're descending one after the other doesn't mean it's only us. We're actually a team of 2 groups, 11 people in total. And right at the beginning, I started to tangle myself. Because of confusion, I forgot to put my stop descender on and carelessly unlocked my most vital securing point. Now I'm relying on the Jumar, the weakest securing point. It works fine as long as I stay upright, but if I squat a bit too much, it fails.
I forgot one thing.
I need to adapt quickly if I want to make it out alive.
I'm gonna put my securing point because I forgot to put the sander. Alright.
When you're on the rope, it's just you and the rope. You're all alone. Nobody can see the mistakes you could make and really help you.
Oh. This pedal got away from me. I need to put it back on. If I fall from here, I don't think I'm gonna be alive.
The average speed of moving through the cave is 100 meters per hour. Our ascending speed and descending speed are the same. We also carry our bags with us in the cave.
The temperature is only 3 degrees Celsius, so being here is not different from being inside of a giant fridge.
Hey man. Hey, how are you? You feel cold already?
Not yet.
There. You okay?
This is where a sheep met its tragic end, falling from the lush valley above down hundreds of meters into the darkness below.
The sheep is under the soil. They covered it because they wanted to prevent the smell.
Now we are about to get through a tight squeeze. As its name suggests, you have to make yourself as small as possible and crawl inside.
Let it go. I'll go after it. Oh my god. How will I do this? I have to go sideways like this.
Krubera Cave is in the Arabica Massif of South Caucasus, 15 kilometers away from Black Sea. Arabica is one of the largest and highest limestone formations in the mountains, providing an ideal environment for the development of such an immense cave. The cave was formed and carved by underground streams and rain, creating both massive, steep wells as well as narrow, long tunnels.
Make myself smaller.
Scientists believe Krubera is 5 million years old and it continues to be shaped even today.
These squeezes are very hard. They say don't feel claustrophobia until you get stuck. Just because you are a nature person, don't come here to a place like this, especially to Krubera Cave, where Earth welcomes you with its narrow meanders.
Do you see the marks on the side walls? At this point in the cave, the passage was so narrow that they had to use tools to break the rocks and widen it. When we pass through narrow passages, small particles fill the air and make it hard to breathe as they get into our mouths. Also, our legs get cramps quickly from working the same muscle group.
It's better if you go slow.
Here you can see the wire.
This wire goes for 2,000 meters
Yes.
and allows the phone to work.
Unfortunately, some broken somewhere.
It was likely damaged by a recent flood. We're completely cut off from the outside world for the next 8 days.
We have two possible ways here.
Yes.
And there is an arrow on the wall that shows the correct way.
That's the way to go.
Oh, yeah. I'll take the arrow. Oh.
Very narrow, man.
Is useful for transport bags. So you don't have to carry the weight of the bag. Rope carries it for you. And you move it like this.
Yeah.
And also use your long stroke to set for safety.
Falling through these rocks could injure us.
Okay, we have to be connected to the rope as well. You don't want to be here. I want to cut the hook like so. You don't want to be here. I want to cut the hook like so. I was almost gonna fall. This thing saved me. It's so wet, it's slippery. It's like a zip line. I just assumed that it's not dangerous. Alright.
The big well starts.
How you feel, Odak?
I took the pill, so it's easy now.
What type of a pill?
A painkiller.
It has been a long way. We're about to arrive at the first camp.
If you see, this is the big well, 105 meters. It feels like it's 3 times bigger.
Thinking about ascending 2 kilometers back to the surface makes me feel overwhelmed already. The rope fibers got stuck in the stop descender mechanism. If I couldn't get them out, I would have to leave the stop descender here, and I wouldn't be able to go down any further. I would have to quit and climb back up. This panic caused me to tangle my rope and my bag's rope.
Free.
We did about 70% of this well.
Which is like how many meters?
80 meters, I guess.
This place is really scary now.
My headlamp does not even lighten up beyond my shoes. All I can see is endless pitch darkness, which makes me a bit uneasy. At least it helps me stay focused on what's right in front of me.
It's all about having a little faith. Yeah, I can do this. It shocks the rope.
Intense shock loads on the ropes from sudden falls like these can break the rope because of the high tension. It can also seriously damage my spine.
But it doesn't go very smooth.
So, welcome to the bottom of the well.
Alright.
While we were descending into a huge well and filming everything, the first group created a gap between us.
Wait, I don't know what's in here.
But I don't fit here. I'm too large.
Look at all the rocks. I think they dropped from the ceiling. If we camp here, one of these rocks can fall on us. There's a sign here.
Yes, it says don't put your mess in here, take your mess to the surface. The mess means, well, before there were flashlights, people used carpet lamps. Waste from old era lamps.
Being the center of interest of speleologists, Krubera has intrigued some daring scientists since the early 20th century. After just 10 hours in the cave, our eyes are bloodshot and our faces are covered with mud. My clothes cling to me, soaked with sweat. We managed to descend another 150 meters more and finally made it to our first camp. We're currently at minus 350 meters from the surface after a solid 12-hour descent, while some of the experienced cavers in the team went straight to camp minus 700.
Hurry up, crawl. Where could I put this?
Hang it over there.
Got it. Like drying them off in the sun, huh?
Yeah.
Gennady is very optimistic about the possibility of discovering a new animal species at the bottom of the cave. I can't stop wondering what we will discover.
My boot's on fire. Is that your boot? Take this one. We should put the kettle on. Let's warm up the tent first.
Then dry our socks.
Now, everyone is busy drying out their damp clothes and repairing their gear.
We're gonna eat some snacks. It's really cold, especially when we sit down. We can feel more cold from the ground. Change our clothes and we will drink this soup, eat some pasta, and sleep, hopefully not get frozen.
Кавказская кухня.
The most important things are food and fuel for heating, of course. Speleologists spend the maximum amount of calories, up to 8,000 kilocalories a day. It's impossible to fulfill the calories. That's why I say nutrition is very important.
Everything I wore has gotten wet and I need it dry by the morning. We have sleeping bags that keep us warm down to minus 10 degrees Celsius.
Good morning, everybody. I just woke up and I'm freezing. I completely lost my sense of time.
After a sunless morning in Krubera, we shake off our weariness. He's sipping the fresh water that the cave offers. Everybody gears up for the descent.
How are you feeling?
Better than yesterday, I'm feeling a little more combative.
I'm gonna put on my thermal underwear, then wear this costume, wear my boots, my waterproof gloves, my helmet. This is my harness.
Hey everybody. You look like Terminators.
Horizontal tunnel. Then another big well, 115 meters long. Another tunnel. From there, some ropes down and up, and horizontal like tunnels again.
And then?
After that, the last well is 30 meters. Then we go a little bit more and find the camp.
I also asked him if we could catch up with the first group.
It will take about 2.5 hours to get, maybe less, but I don't know when they will move out.
Right.
they think we are slow and they want to wait as much as possible.
If you want to pee, you have to take all this gear off, which will take any person about 30 minutes. If you are in a hurry, you might pee on yourself. Sometimes it's a better idea to do so. Free? Let that go, which pulls me down. It's not like Earth, it's like an alien planet. No life here. Bye bye. Bye. Alright, good luck. Yeah, you too. This works, yeah. Wonderful.
We're completely cut off from the outside world and on our own down here. The camp on the surface has no way of knowing directly if anything goes wrong, so we have to be extra careful.
Look, there's water here. They gathered the water from here to the camp.
We've been descending for about 6 hours today. We're all pretty wiped.
Oh, the rope is wet.
From now on, all ropes are wet, and the descender's mechanism doesn't slide easily on wet ropes, causing risky shock loads each time.
Breathe. Another tunnel, huh?
He is shaking from the cold. I asked for another break.
You have to rest, but you cannot rest long enough to start freezing. Sometimes you kind of sit, you turn your light off, you close your eyes and try to rest and falling asleep, and this is the worst. You can easily die if you fall asleep. So no matter how hard it is, how difficult it is, you just have to push yourself.
So we've decided to rest at camp -700 before pushing to camp -1400. Here is our home for tonight. It looks like everyone has gone ahead already.
Our guide is going to prepare some lunch, dinner, whatever it is. I don't know what time it is. My brain is so tired. More tired than my muscles.
We're close to camp -1400.
Before entering the -1400 camp, speleologists created a makeshift water tap using an empty bottle. The group ahead has also reached their new campsite at -1400.
Why are you pointing at the tent? It's going to fly off your hand.
Hello, dear friends. We hope everybody is alive and well. We hope you haven't lost your team spirit. We believe that you will succeed and you will be able to find something beautiful for this underground world. We look forward to seeing you soon. With our love, your friends.
There's nothing like a cold cave shower under a waterfall to wash off the mud, sweat, and exhaustion after days of exploring.
The water's not that cold. You feel warmer if you get used to it.
All right.
After a rough sleep, some are stretching their tired muscles, others are putting on their gear. Everyone is getting ready to dive further into the depths of Krubera. His knee pads are torn. He will stitch up new ones.
Oh.
Everybody, let's keep going. This is the right way.
When moving in the dark, the light from headlamps can sometimes block the other's view.
But bend your goddamn headlight down. I can't see anything.
That's enough. I hate this camera.
While I was waiting to descend, my headlamp battery ran out.
Oh, my battery is finished. There's no light.
Luckily, I had spare batteries in my pocket.
At the very bottom of the cave, we did a topographic survey and we recorded everything with the camera.
As we go deeper into Krubera, I wonder how the animals have evolved here in the darkness. So far, I haven't crossed with any creature. But it makes me think where there's water, there's a chance for life to exist.
Cave is so wet now.
In the cave, your biological clock is always off. Without clock, automatically switch to 40 hours day.
40 hour daytime.
Yes, so they like awake for 20 something and sleeping for 16 like something.
We've reached the halfway point of Krubera Cave, but we still need to descend another 200 meters to get to the next camp. The cold, tiredness, and being always under artificial light are starting to affect my performance and leading me to make fatal mistakes. At this point, when I was 50 meters above the rocky ground, I accidentally unlocked my last securing point and realized I had to hang solely by the strength of my muscles.
I forgot putting my descender on.
Every second my muscles are getting tired. If I fail to lock my carabiner and fall, I will certainly lose my life. The way I attach the carabiner is extremely risky and it could open at any time. I also got my glove jammed.
Right. It's not looking good. It requires full dedication. One small mistake can kill you. Now I'm good to go. Gotcha. This is the rope I want to be on.
Just a couple of minutes later, I almost unlocked my last securing point for the second time. I opened the carabiner. Fortunately, I realized my mistake.
That's not good. Another mistake. I need to put my descender first.
My eyes feel heavy in constant darkness, and my brain feels like it's collapsing under the weight of fatigue.
Hey guys, it's really tough. It's not easy as it looks.
There are underwater currents that block the way. Siphons are basically passages that are flooded with underground rivers.
Well, everybody, let's go and take a dip.
There are dozens of them along our path, and a single wrong move could leave us trapped, out of breath, and facing the terrifying risk of drowning. To help you better understand the challenging conditions in Krubera, we created 3D models of siphon explorations and the map. Blender, as with most 3D softwares, is powered by NVIDIA Studio and GeForce RTX, so we work directly in full detail within the viewport, seeing results instantly without waiting for long renders. On the map, you can see where the siphons begin and end. These water-filled, deep passages are scattered throughout the cave, and we're now starting with a moderately big one. Creating these animations took us 2 weeks, but the advanced technology we used significantly sped up our workflow and helped us to save hours. This caver, as you can see, has attached rocks to himself to prevent floating upwards and striking his body on the ceiling. He could also be swept away by the water flow and get lost in one of the upward leading passages and lose his life. Some of the siphons, like this one, have no air pockets, which means these passages are completely filled with water. Passing through them can take several minutes depending on their length and difficulty. If you can't follow the rope in the siphons and miss it, you can enter the wrong tunnel and you can drown. If your clothes get caught on a sharp stone and you can't get it out in a panic, you can drown. Even if you do everything right, you can still drown if you can't hold your breath long enough. We made it back to the camp at -700 after a 6-hour exhausting climb. I was starting to lose focus from the cold and exhaustion, so the speleologist didn't think it was safe for me to keep going and asked me to wait for them back at camp. Thankfully, there's enough water and snacks here to keep us going for the coming days.
Oh, these are the mats, huh? Bingo.
The sudden and powerful flooding at camp -1640 lifted the leftover mats off the ground, leaving them stuck high above.
It looks like this place was totally submerged.
We didn't know it at the time, but while we were in the cave with no connection with the surface camp, it started raining, which means a real risk of flooding. The footage you're seeing now is from a few years ago. As you can see, people barely made out. Similar floods could destroy our camps and the passages.
Everybody got so wet. Look how we dry ourselves off. It's a good idea.
After a wet and chilly night in the cave, the speleologists are preparing their gear for the big days ahead. They will measure the exact depth of the cave and might even discover new animal species unknown to mankind.
Minus 1,640.
Let's get started.
The sharp icicle-like structures hanging from the roof are called stalactites. These formations grow incredibly slowly, typically less than 10 centimeters in 1,000 years. They form when water drips down and calcium carbonate deposits build up over time.
Is there any space for me there?
Yeah.
The team is extra careful to avoid damaging them.
This looks so dangerous.
They also became both physically and mentally exhausted.
It is too low. It needs to be higher. We will hang out more laundry.
Finally, they made it to camp minus 1,960, which is the last and the most uncomfortable camp due to its limited space.
Is it okay if I pee on you?
The team was unable to even stand up properly the entire time they were in this small gallery.
The camp is minus 1,960 meters down. It's one of the deepest camps in the world. Some of us are soaked entirely, and we all have bruised eyes. Some went down to minus 2,080 already. The camp, of course, is not very comfortable here. The flood constantly washes away all the mats. As for the two captains' siphon, it starts about 200 meters down from here.
After days of relentless effort, the team has finally reached the deepest point in Krubera that humankind has ever explored. Gennady and his teammate are now working to precisely map Krubera's depths. Measuring the deep underground is much more challenging than measuring the surface, as GPS signals are useless. A laser rangefinder is used, which is capable of calculating indirect heights and distances between 2 points. He is proceeding to the outermost edge for the exact calculation. The device has a special compass board and is used with a plastic battery instead of a regular one to reduce magnetic errors.
Not on our left, not on our right. Where to go?
There is no other way.
What?
There is no other way.
I understand.
He has to get wet for this calculation.
Okay.
Once they exit the cave, they will make the total calculation and issue an official statement regarding the cave's actual height. They are near the two captains' siphon, the deepest siphon in the world. This is the endpoint. They're preparing the gas tanks to dive into the deepest point of the cave, equipped with a precision measurement device to record the cave's depth. Gennady also carries numerous bait traps. He hopes to discover a new animal species yet unknown to mankind.
We have to be careful here. Let's see the results. Let's see if anything lives down there.
Now the team is getting inside the siphon's deep, cold, and murky waters. They have already marked some parts of the two captains' siphon during their previous expeditions, but they have had difficulty discovering it entirely. There are sections that have remained a mystery, but now their secrets are about to be unveiled. He tied a few bait trap bottles to the rope so as not to lose them. On their way back, they didn't notice it, but the camera captured it. A small, completely transparent animal was lurking in the water. Then another animal showed up, but that also went unnoticed. What is this? These animals are blind due to the absence of light. Fortunately, the team managed to capture an exceptionally unique animal in the trap. They also encountered another highly distinct-looking animal purely by chance. The footage you're seeing has never been captured before.
There it is. There is the fish. Let's not lose it.
Wow, what is this?
Let's get this one right away.
If these animals are unique to this cave and have never been spotted before, these findings will be added to the precious library of human knowledge, a significant step for mankind. We have documented them on video. Most of these creatures are transparent as they have evolved in total darkness. But the other creature they pulled from the trap is not a new discovery. It was identified in 2013 and it only lives in Krubera Cave. Its name is Gammarus kruberian.
Amazing news. I'm just in shock. I'm realizing that we live in a beautiful world.
Depth measurements of the two captains' siphon, and consequently the cave, have also been collected. Could this discovery confirm Krubera as the Earth's deepest known cave and lead to its inclusion in geography textbooks? Now it's time to ascend to uncover the truth about Krubera Cave.
Oh my god.
How long do you think we will wait then?
I think like 1 hour maximum.
We had already put our caving suits back on at the time they had predicted they would arrive and patiently waited for them.
Yeah, I hear them.
They're coming!
Yeah, they're coming.
We're getting ready to ascend back up 700 meters in 24 hours. The ascent is both the hardest part of a caving journey and the stage where most life losses occur. This phase demands not only significant physical effort, but also sustained focus and precise execution.
I hit my head here.
Insects started to appear.
We are very near to surface.
We took our final break for snacks to regain some energy.
We have a little way to go.
During an 8-day caving expedition, the relentless effort of ascending, descending, and enduring a constant 3-degree cold burns an immense amount of calories. Most of us lost around 10 kilograms over the course of this journey. It's a significant sacrifice we make in the pursuit of new discoveries.
This is probably the longest time I've ever been in the cave.
Once everyone exits the cave, Gennady Smokin, the leader of the expedition, will evaluate the success of the 8-day mission. He has a very important announcement to share with the world. The daylight, the breeze, the fresh air, the rain, and the scent of plants restore my sense of humanity.
Finally, I see the daylight.
I feel profound gratitude for being alive.
It's water.
Now, we are about to discover the most important aspect of this documentary.
Can you officially confirm that Krubera is now the deepest cave in the world?
We deliberately didn't publish the depth data of Krubera Cave until this interview. This is a very important moment. We wanted the collaborative work we've done with you to culminate in a clear declaration that Krubera Cave is, as of today, the deepest cave in the world. The computer calculated the margin of error for us, which was around 0.1%. Today, we can confidently state that with our methodology, the depth of Krubera Cave is 2,224 meters, including the siphon and the upper entrance, which is 3 meters higher than the Arabica Massif. This means the margin of error is approximately 10 meters. This year, we also collected samples of crustaceans and sent them for analysis.
You also discovered some creatures during the exploration. Could you share more information about them? Have you completed their taxonomic classification, or is the research still ongoing?
We discovered some really interesting findings this time. What is really important is that these data that we have collected are unique. This is because almost no one has ever worked at such depths. But their exact species identification is not yet determined.
You might remember that at the end of one of our previous videos, I asked for your support for the Krubera project. Thanks to your donations, the exploration of Krubera Cave became possible, allowing us to film these discoveries and share them with the world. More than 188 people took part in the making of this project. Unlike other so-called documentaries on the internet, which often explain already known facts, we documented something entirely new. This project stands as a true documentary in every sense. In the future, we are planning to visit Tristan da Cunha, the most remote settlement in the world. To get there, we will travel 7 days on a cargo ship from South Africa, spend 2 weeks on the island, and return back in 7 days. The nearest settlement there is St. Helena, which is approximately 2,430 kilometers to the north. But everything related to this project is costly. Only your Spurtank support could make this rare documentary come to life. I also want to thank NVIDIA for supporting us creating these animations and maps of the Krubera Cave. With the power of GeForce RTX GPUs, we were able to efficiently handle over 30 hours of raw footage with unmatched efficiency and share this Krubera documentary with you. AI-powered video editing with NVIDIA's GPUs saves us a lot of time on big projects like this by handling repetitive and time-consuming tasks for us. As a production team using Blender for 3D modeling and Adobe Premiere for video editing, RTX GPUs speed up tasks like denoising renders and make 3D rendering incredibly smooth. Meanwhile, the ray tracing cores delivered photorealistic lighting and shadows, bringing our 3D scenes to life. On the video editing side, RTX GPUs enabled us to improve audio clarity with AI-driven noise reduction, achieve precise color matching for a consistent look, and dramatically reduce rendering times. GeForce RTX GPUs accelerate over 100 of the world's most popular creative applications, including Adobe Creative Cloud, Blender, Autodesk Maya, Unity, Unreal Engine, and OBS, empowering creators to move from concept to completion faster than ever before. Thanks to NVIDIA for supporting this documentary. Thanks to you for supporting the channel. Ruhi Chenet was here.